It's the Waffle Bros. I'm Corwin.
And I'm Uko.
And we are back with more Project Brutality, picking up where we left off in the Double Impact WOD. And I think that Doom is the perfect kind of game to play for Halloween, because after all, it was the first video game that scared me. Like, I'm gonna be real with you about that. When I was a small child back in the 1990s, I almost just rocketed myself in the face there. But when I was a small child in the 1990s, this shit was absolutely terrifying. Especially the invisible pinkies. Those motherfuckers,
yes.
I was sure that they wanted to munch my testicles off. Although,
and I mean,
as a small child, I didn't think about my testicles nearly as often as I do now. I gotta be real with everybody.
Well, it's the lingering fear that testicular torsion could visit you in the night.
That is true.
That's
is true.
That's
like,
your
also,
Halloween
like
monster shit.
I'm personally of the impression that like every moment that you're standing up, your balls are slowly like reaching for the floor.
Oh, lengthening?
Yeah.
They don't come back up.
That's my impression.
Yeah, it's like hearing it degrades over time.
And so as you get older,
they descend.
Like, you don't have to be an old man to be afraid of your balls, like, you know, slowly dripping to the floor, dripping. Oh, why did I say it that way?
Hold on.
Why did I say drip into the floor? Let your balls hit the floor. Let your balls hit
Are you saying that I should have already been taking a picture of my nads once a day, every day?
Yeah, in some ways it's too late now.
Yeah,
you know,
and make like
you've already had too much ball droopage.
I could have made it. You're saying I could have made like a flip book of my nuts?
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Do it to the tune of The Entertainer.
Or just a long slide whistle.
Or you don't want it to slide to where it was like getting particularly like girthier and deeper the further you did the slide whistle. That's all I'm saying.
Oh
yes.
Also, I'm bummed out.
Do not rip my face off. No, thank you.
I have a slide whistle, and I used to play it, you know, sometimes to make sound effects for the channel.
On the channel, yes, I do remember.
And last time I tried to play it, it's like the gasket is gone or something, like perished inside it, and it doesn't really
Don't you
slide
understand?
or whistle
That's
anymore.
why you gotta buy a good quality slide. Okay.
It was, look, man, I deliberately chose the better one. There was like a $25 one and like a $9.
He didn't buy no like plastic ass slide whistle or something
It's
like
made
that.
of metal, like in the olden days.
Yup. I mean, I'm pretty sure like in the olden days, you'd make shit like that out of like, you know, whale penises.
Or glass.
Or something.
Are there glass slide whistles?
Oh, it probably makes a spooky ass sound if you use the glass slide whistle. The slide whistle theremin. That's what it is.
Dude,
the perfect thing for quote-unquote spooky season.
We know we get off on tangents, okay? But I regret nothing, okay?
Oh, yeah, also, I don't think Doom is an unfriendly game to tangent.
That's true.
Like, tangentially, I've noticed that.
I agree with that. But this map is dope, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I'm
got
digging
stairs.
it. I'm not getting lost or anything. You know, by saying that, I've made myself get lost in, like,
It's
the
got
next
that
couple of
ivy
minutes,
texture
right?
that I think is not used enough.
You're totally right about that. No. That guy...
And that guy.
I was like, I was like, he didn't seem to, like, die in a normal way. And then after all, he wasn't dead. He was just pretending to be on the flow. I mean, he was definitely actually being on the flow, but he wasn't dead.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before, where one rocketed that high up.
And then came back down and was still alive.
Yeah. See,
yeah,
that's the
you're
thing
not wrong about
that's
that.
the thing about Doom, is that it is the game that keeps on giving.
I mean, to be fair, like, they didn't rock it up like that in OG original
It's
flavor.
true, but even if it takes a little bit of help here and there for the game to keep on giving, it keeps on giving.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
It's like if you have, oh God,
you son of a bitch.
It's like if you have an old camel and it doesn't like walking anymore, so you give it some meth, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went with a camel.
Camels, meth, always thinking.
I should have gone with like a horse or something more.
You've been through the desert on a camel with no hump. Is that what you're saying over here?
I think it's because I associate camels with like durability and versatility.
Built camel tough.
Exactly.
Is that? Oh! He was blood dancing. He was blood dancing in his own blood, so that's not quite as. It's equally hard, but not quite as like hardcore. You're a kill murder bitch.
Okay. That guy, that headless guy, it brought back a Halloween memory. I'm gonna tell you a Halloween story. You're gonna remember this. Remember that time we were trick or treating? This was 25 years ago, and you were pretty young, and we were trick or treating in like a different area than we had like the year before or whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
You thought the thing that starts with a roof?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we were okay. Now you know how people do now, where they'll do Halloween lights that go completely bananas, or they have a little diorama that becomes a huge, expensive diorama, or like a mini haunted house.
Back in these days, Halloween was weak.
Exactly.
But
these people were on the cutting edge.
Here's the thing: Halloween was weak, but on the other hand, the candy was strong back then.
That is true.
The candy was so strong.
Getting those little boxes of nerds and the big ass boxes are.
And occasionally some like degenerate freak would have like
the full size
decide to spend their disposable income on full size candy bars, which I guess I shouldn't be calling them degenerate freaks. I should be thankful to them all these years later. But
I remember one year
regardless,
just getting a bunch of Twixes. But anyway, this thing that happened with these people who took the Halloween a little too seriously. We walk up to the place, and it's one of these houses that has the cobwebs everywhere, and like there's a witch over here, and there's a skeleton over here. But then out of nowhere, we hear like a scream, and then here comes a headless body flinging off the roof onto the driveway right in front of us.
Yep. Our mother didn't really appreciate it very much.
No, because it was super aggressive.
This was during the 1990s when like everybody was always afraid. It was a dummy, but like during the 1990s, everybody was very, very much like, they're going to kill you on Halloween.
They'll find a way. They'll put razor blades
in your cobwebs, and then you'll eat the cobwebs, and then they'll put spiders in the candy.
I was going to say they'll put razor blades in your Snapple.
Okay, I thought you were going to say for some reason razor blades in your Snatch when you started Snapple.
Shit. There's your Halloween miracle.
Isn't Snapple just like a drink, not a candied apple? I've never had a candy apple, by the way.
Are you serious?
I never had a candy apple.
Shit. They're delicious. I haven't had one in possibly longer than...
I think that I've heard like lots of people say, they're kind of weak. So...
I think what it is... Okay, I'll tell you why.
This is going to be a really old man sounding kind of thing, but I felt this way since I was a child, and I've always, including to this day, had sort of the lustful, joy for like candy and stuff like that. But candy apples always looked like they might be too sugary.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't remember all the details. And I'll go back to the other story in a minute about the body coming off the roof.
Tell about the body first.
Okay, so first the body. This body comes flying off the roof. They were hiding behind the roof, and they chucked the dummy over the roof, which means they couldn't see what they were aiming at. So when it landed directly
straight on top of the child,
children, yeah, it could have just clonked you on the head, and you had a vulnerable child head.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the soft spot on my head had closed by then.
Yeah, but still, children have like large heads, and they're not balanced correctly.
Also, pretty sure ain't sure enough when it comes to head soft spots. Also, I just melted. Now, that's a Halloween effect that I'd love to be able to like freak children out with.
Oh, I've melted my hands.
I've melted my hands, or maybe even make the child think I've melted his hands.
Oh shit! But
anyway,
so our mother was. When your mother's super mad at other people, but then she realizes that she doesn't want to look crazy in public because, then people try to get the authorities involved and say she's crazy and stuff.
Yup.
Everyone's mother has had, that moment, but so she had to be
when your mother is in that moment where, please let me wrestle a bear for you, child.
Exactly. And also, but then it becomes just like, I'm going to be as polite as possible while letting everyone know I'm super enraged at them.
Yeah.
But then we got candy and fucked off. But anyway, the candy apple thing.
And our mother was like, we will never trick or treat on that street ever again.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I wish I could remember what we were dressed as. But anyway,
I don't know.
the other thing with the candy apple, this was definitely.
I was dressed as a child who really wanted candy.
Yeah.
I mean,
the candy apple thing. It was at some like, you know how sometimes people at the height of they're going to kill your kids with the candy scares will organize like, hey kids, how about instead of going to
we
the
go
stranger,
to the church,
yeah, and we'll
or
pass
the community center that
exactly.
nobody knew existed
and
until then.
and we'll pass out some safe candy, and it's like this, and everyone's thinking this is going to be a scam to give us carob, like instead of chocolate. Or
it's going to be a scam to
give us fresh fruit,
make us join your religion or
and
whatever the fuck.
and they did give us fresh fruit,
and they did try to make me join their religion.
But the fresh fruit was in the form of a candy apple. And I think you were not born yet, but I was, because I was young enough that I was losing baby teeth, and I lost a baby tooth in the candy apple directly. Like, it was straight up, it was a natural tooth loss. It was loose already, but like, it was a straight up thing where it sucked it out of my face. I took a bite of the candy apple, thought, wow, that's stickier than I thought it was, and I uncoupled my face from the candy apple, and I was missing a tooth in the apple.
Now, I remember one time, it's going to probably be a very different type of story from the story you were just saying. But it was a different time where they were like, come to the church and do Halloween here instead. And I remember it was my like, we're done with the level, but I'll finish telling the story. This was like when I was a little bit older, and my like previous, from like years earlier, second grade teacher had invited the family and everybody there with it. And her daughter was also there, who was like a year or so older than me at the time, like teenage something daughter. And she was dressed as a witch and just kept showing me her underwear. Just over and over again.
Pulling up the witch skirt and just be like, boom,
and just
panties.
kept showing me her underwear.
That is amazing.
And I was like, nice.
Yeah.
That was my response at the time.
What color were they? Just so I know you're not lying.
They were white.
Okay, see, you rattled it off. So
they were white.
Yeah.
Yup. I mean, as would expect, you would expect from like a, deeply religious, like, Southern family.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They ain't gonna be watching red panties. Yeah.
Yes.
Holy shit.
They're the panties of the devil. Anyway, we've told our weird Halloween stories and how I've never had a candy apple because I kind of want one now, if I'm being entirely honest. But I'm also kind of terrified now that Uko said
you
that
can
they're
lose
tooth rippers.
Yeah, so let's not do that. Yeah.
But we're going to stop here. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that schmexit thumbs up button. Make sure you ring the bell to keep getting notified of delicious waffle content. Waffle Bros signing out.